Good morning, Saturday, and it's about time for me to share with you how we evolve or not during Friday. So this is my day. It's a way for me to capture one thing that I learned, one thing that I find out that I need to fix, and one thing that I achieved, to share it with you, and also to use it as a way to keep you on track about how Galaxy is evolving. I'm really keen about keeping these daily records online. I believe we are creating a very interesting documentation of how company evolve from nothing to something. So really excited about it, and I hope that one day it will be used by others for their own benefit. So that's all. Let's dive into yesterday achievement. So another small release on Galaxies platform, which is going to start. So we are going to launch in a month, and that's going to be a product that will enable you to create much more clarity within your organization or group. It will enable you to easier, and so it will enable you to create clarity in terms of who is responsible for what, and it will provide you a tool set in order to create more, I think the best word is efficiency within your group. So wait and see. We believe that it's going to create a little bit of revolution in terms of how teams and organizations are running. We are getting very good feedbacks from everyone that we speak about it, but just few saw it so far, so time will tell. But anyway, yesterday we added two more features which we believe that are crucial in order to enable organization to use this tool. The first one is we do have an archive of all the roles or all the functions, we call them, and the groups, and whatever you were accountable for in any point of time. And now it's available using an archive retrieval method to get all this data. So if you need it for any legal reason, you will have all the history of your group or your organization. So we know it's needed from legal perspective. Now we have it. And the second one, when we started to work with organization, we find out that we need to define more fine granular roles within the tool that will enable certain functionality, like creating or editing the organization structure, or defining a function or connections between function, or giving a feedback, all of those, and it's different roles. So now we have 5 different roles within the tool, successfully tested, so we know that we can accommodate different requirements from organization once we will meet them. So that's the achievement to new stuff, not the core of the system, but definitely bring much more maturity into the system. So that's the achievement. Learning. So a little bit of technical, but if you're listening, you should be aware of it. If you didn't hear about it, we learned it the hard way. We just experienced it. So apparently all the serverless functions, whatever it's a function on Microsoft platform or Lambda on AWS, has a known, I would call it issue, and it's related to the time that it takes for initial setup or initial setting of the function or the Lambda function. The first time that it's being called takes a pretty long time per call or per serverless function. And if you have many functions associate with the first task that user should do a day, or as he is logging in, you're going to experience a very long latency in performance of the system. Obviously, once being called for the second and third and fourth, it's extremely fast. So, and we knew it's a problem, but I can tell you that this difference between what we knew and what we experienced. From experience, it's much worse than we thought. So this is something that everyone that is using Lambda functions or Microsoft functions should be aware of, and that's what we learned the hard way. Last but not least, one thing that we find out that we need to fix, and that's a feedback that we got for our deck that present our services, simplicity. So break it into three main values that organizations should get from your service. Make it more appealing to people's hearts, not just brains. That's the message, and that's what we are going to fix. So that's all for Friday achievement, what we learned, and regretfully, but luckily, one thing that we find out that we need to fix. If you're aware of something that you need to fix and you fix it, it's not becoming a problem anymore. If you ignore it, it's just growing. So that's all for Friday. Thank you. Obviously, Monday morning, I'll share with you how this day will evolve, and I'll try to sum up the week. And that's all for today. Thanks. Bye.